Welcome back to Enshrouded, everyone. Hope you all are having an amazing day. I am joined by a special guest today, joined by Thorsten, who is one of the Enshrouded developers at Keen Games, and we are very excited to do a little dev Q&A. I'm going to switch to the screen. Thorsten will be joining us in the game just for some fun chill time, and I've put together a list of questions that myself and my community are very intrigued and curious by. Of course, don't answer anything that is also supposed to be kept secret, but this will be a lot of fun. So welcome in, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today, Thorsten.
Yeah, thank you too for inviting me. It's been a pleasure and an honor to go live here with you, and also like very curious about what you have created in your world, and see your creations. So I'm just gonna take a look around here, and
Yeah,
it looks
definitely.
already cool.
Feel free. We are in
Yeah.
the new fishing hut. For anyone that didn't see the video, this was the latest build that I did in the water biome, the first stream after the little fishing hut build. So I was just having some fun doing using some of the new pieces and blocks and everything. I absolutely love what you guys have done with this water biome. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, was actually already enough work to do.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean that kind of turn his audio up a little. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for let's see here. And go ahead and turn that up. All right, say something to test that out, Thorsten.
Check, check, check. Fishy fish. Fischers Fritz. Fisch, frische Fische. Check, check,
Cool.
check.
Hopefully that's a little better, maybe. All right. Awesome. But yeah, that kind of leads into the first question, which was I've got a list of them on my phone. I think Liam sent them to you as well. But I have what was with the recent water updates, the single biggest challenge in making the water the way you did and having it be fully interactable and react with the terrain and the players and all of that stuff. I imagine that originally the water was a big challenge. We weren't sure if it was going to be added to the game, and we were very curious to hear what was the biggest thing that originally was like, oh, I don't know how we could do this, that you were able to overcome there.
Yeah, I mean, generally everything what you just said, like that, it should be look realistic, feel kind of realistic, and not to be like too laggy in regards to response, when you use it. And, in some games, I mean, there is water, but basically it doesn't get updated like frame-wise, or it takes a long time to spread the water out, and then it will, whatever, fill a pond, and you could basically see it like block by block advancing. And to have it in that kind of way that it really feels immersive, with every aspect of the audiovisual things as well, like that you whatever have interactions with it, and you have the light and reflections on the water, within the water, and all that. The whole package itself was a lot of things to deal with, and that's also the reason why we didn't implement it at the first place. Like with the resources we had at the beginning of the project, it was clear that we could not tackle it in the way that we really wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
Yeah.
I can say at the very beginning it was just an idea that we might block stuff out in the world. Yeah, so we did some experiments where we just had fake water, like just some surface that could be water.
I see.
It would be blocked. Yeah, but it felt like weird to be like in a world where you basically can craft everything and mine everything, and then there is a zone where it would be completely blocked. There would just be a collision. And that felt not so cool. And we were like, okay, we rather leave it out, and not do it in this super dummy way, and wait for the time when we have proper resources to do it right,
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, and yeah, I think a lot of my community and myself agree that you all often tend to deliver beyond our expectations and things. I had it in the back of my mind that maybe that would be the case, that maybe we would just get the water texture, so to speak, in certain areas of the world, but maybe not be able to build with it. But when we saw the ability to even I've got the little water wheel back here and everything, and the
Yeah.
way that you
Yeah,
guys
let's
made
look
it
around. Yeah.
fully interactive and working, and it's just incredible. This is honestly yeah, it made this game on my absolute top tier with water in it now. It's one of the things I always love in the games. I'm
Yeah.
from a dry mountain climate, and playing with like a jungle environment is just so much fun.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
you guys just did such an awesome job with it. And
Yeah.
yeah, overcame a lot of the hurdles, I take it. Are there other things you're like working on, like perfecting, or would like to see changed about it soon? Or is it is it something where this was, yeah, are there anything that's being changed about it or being worked on when it comes to anything, or are you guys really
Yeah.
happy with the way it turned out so far?
No, I mean, first of all, I must give the compliments complete to our programming team. Like they made the magic. It was even for us as the rest of the team not really sure what can we expect, and like the progression took a while. Like from the very first drafts that we had in the game, we were like, oh, is this really going to work out in the timeline we have? We were not
Right.
so sure. So we were really amazed how unbelievable great the job was done by our programmers. Really, and it was just like even for us, very surprised to see like, okay, wow, um, even in a kind of more low spec version, I would have been happy about it. But I think right now what we have so far is pretty cool already.
Right.
But definitely we have some bugs in the system and they need to be polished. And there are some things, like that are not perfectly working in regards to whatever visuals and sound stuff and all that. But the general thing, like is already there. So we will work on more polishing, do some more bug fixing. But yeah, but generally, I think there's also a lot of ideas which could be done in the future. Right now, for example, there is nothing like a gravity system there that when you have whatever a floaty object like a boat or something, it will
Uh-huh.
not, like just float over the surface. And also, as we started with the water, we had millions ideas like that. Oh, what if we could create a raft and then steer the raft? And what if we
Right.
had the raft and there was wind and we could set a sail? And you go crazy about this, but then with every new idea, we figured out, okay, that's still. Like a barrel with a with an end you don't see. So we
Yeah.
have to figure out what
That
kind
is
of things we can
awesome, though.
tackle.
I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of hints to the fact that you guys are looking at the idea of adding, a little raft or a boat someday.
Yeah, but it's not like that. I can tell that we will make that. Just like that, we have ideas about this. Like when it comes
Right.
to water, I mean that. Of course, we will share ideas like that. Even the fishing now, I feel like it's been a cool thing because like as a pastime activity in the game, it was really, really, really highly um, praised, from the community. And I thought like,
Right.
yeah, it's something that I love to do in games in generally, and yeah, that worked out pretty well, like with the mini game we have now, and yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
pretty
I
fun.
actually
Yeah,
really like the fishing, and I like that you also did all the sliders to keep being able to adjust the difficulty of things for this biome,
yeah,
better
yeah.
breathing time underwater, easier fishing, things like that, which is that's definitely amazing. You said you logged in with the curse. I'm gonna I'll give you a
Yeah, give me something because I think I'm not dying, but it looked really weird, when
with
I'm
the shroud curse. There you go.
standing here. Thank you. So I'm gonna go sit in it.
Uh,
What is that bag? It's the first time I had it, and
yeah.
this, yeah.
I keep getting very unlucky with it. I get it a lot, so I've been stocked up on on the
I had to
potions
ask
and
my colleagues like, what do I have here? What's happening?
yeah, no, it's
Is it
it's
that?
it's fun. I like that they sort of added those things to the game. Always throws a loop in the adventure, like, oh man, it cuts all the time in
Yeah.
half and everything like that.
Show me a little
Um,
bit around. Yeah. What's is
yeah.
that? What you created so far in the
So this was
in
the
yeah,
fishing hut, and then
yeah.
the forest village, which is I'm going over to now, is one of the larger projects that I've been working on and still currently working on. It's a
Hmm.
little discombobulated over here because I've just been messing around with some of the water where I previously had a bunch of ice. So that part of things is all over the place. But this was sort of a lot of the beginning things when Blackmire came out. I pretty much started this build where it's got the treehouse, and this is yeah, quite a big one. So there's lots of feel free to just roam around everything here.
It's beautifully decorated, like all
Thanks.
the details with the flower pots, where you put the shelves, even like the curtains here. They're actually, yeah, they were originally designed for the desert, but I mean, all the props are
You're
just
right, yeah. They kind of
from
come
our
out for
community.
the biomes, yeah.
And all this way. And the funniest thing is, like, every time I'm gonna watch a streamer and seeing like his creations in the next update, I'm trying to really get inspired by that and try to build some stuff in the game that looks equally as good. But some of the stuff you create, without even the tools or creative mode, it's just insane level of details and quality.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's really
definitely
cool.
can't wait for creative mode. That would be super cool, and you guys had that on the roadmap for spring of 2026 for 1.0. Are there any that's actually one of the questions I had on my list with the whole idea of creative mode. What could we like see with that when it comes to like possibly like a build camera, like a search menu for the pieces, or
Mm.
like yeah, I guess what tools do you guys as like the devs have for creating all of your like, showcase videos or quick builds or locations, and like what as players could we see in something like a creative mode?
Mm. I am not sure because I wasn't in part in the design discussion. What about like the progress is on that, and how it will be
Okay.
delivered and what
Uh,
features it will entail. But for the stuff we're using, like we're mostly using like our own tools. I mean, a level design editing tool there where we create entities and create the levels and, like balance all the stuff. But of course, it also not like the like that easy to create everything by hand with just a few clicks. You have to like do some kind of like design. Wow, wait, it goes really. You did that base really high. Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. I just see that. My
Put the
God,
put the altar
this
all
is
the
like
way
a
in the
whole
tree so I
village.
could have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
full level 4 area to build with. I've got all kinds of
Wow.
stuff on the
Okay.
ground.
Yeah, yeah. And but just generally, I mean, I don't know about like the progress, what will be done, and if there will be like a creative mode and how it will look like. But there's
Mhm.
certainly like discussion. I've still cursed. Wait a second. I drank something, right? You gave me like the
Still cursed
potion.
with the
Yeah.
fell thing. Uh-oh.
Oh no, I drank the wrong thing. Now
Uh-oh.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Like that wouldn't be
But yeah,
good.
so we're using our own internal tools. Yeah, we have like no, I'm still. What the? What's that?
Still
Actually, I have
cursed.
to check it out. Status details. What I have
Is it the
immune
fell curse
against
or the
curse.
hemotoxin?
It's a hemotoxin. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I've got that one too. Hang on.
Thank you.
Let me do
Thank you.
that
I
one.
thought it was a spell curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Curse is a curse or not?
uh,
Yeah.
thanks, Mark,
Um,
for the super chat. Yeah, wood dropping of bamboo structures are destroyed. Oh yeah, for wood or bamboo, Mark is asking in the chat.
yeah.
And then also the concept of like wondering if we'll get more like props when it comes to building docks and bamboo stairs and similar things like that
Yeah. Yeah.
with the update.
Yeah, there's definitely a big wish list, in regards to props. We've already
Hmm.
seen there's a big thread already on Reddit, where people say like, hey, these are the props we would really like to have. So on top of that, I think it's the oven that we have. There's this little oven prop that you find in every village, and
Right.
people really want to use that. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of props that will come in the next updates
That's
and
great.
also the full release. So
Yeah.
that's definitely on always something in the making. We can't really produce enough props for like all the people want to
Right.
have. So yeah, that's and I understand it because like these make the base really kind of cozy and original.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about this game, with the amount of props and creativity that we can do
yeah,
with it is one of the things that for me,
And
totally sets it apart from a game like Minecraft where it's just blocks and you can just fully customize
yeah,
things
yeah,
with the base. And yeah, that was another one of the big questions I wanted to go over for, since I'm a builder, a lot of my community are builders, the whole
yeah,
builder's wish list concept, with what's in store for the builders in the future. You mentioned the props, the creative mode, that kind of a thing. But yeah, will there be more altars, the ability to build more props that we find in the game currently? A possible creative mode, how's that going to work? Yeah, free camera, searchable inventory, etc. And yeah, any sort of like blueprint system as well that a lot of people are wondering. With the flame altar being sort of this boundary that saves in the world, is that anything that could happen later on with like a blueprint system? Or because I know the roadmap kind of mentioned like the ability to sort of like community world sharing or server teleportation and things, like how is all that
yeah.
gonna be working?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is also everything is in discussion and design, like it doesn't mean like we're definitely going to do that or it's absolutely certain. And even
Hmm.
some things on the roadmap could change in favor to something else. Or we figure out, it can be done in a given time that we have.
Hmm.
Like I would not say that is something we definitely can guarantee. Like there, of course, like would be really cool, for example, have a blueprint system even of a base or a shareable base or the ability to even take your whole base and put it somewhere else and all that. But takes also a long time to evaluate this from the
Right.
technical and the design side to see
Yeah.
like, okay, we might have an idea, but then we find out like, oh my God, like to do it, it would require this amount of time and this amount of people, and
Right.
we would rather make something else that is really important. So far, we kind of like managed to get most of the stuff that we wanted to do, but already with the water, we saw like it took some time. We couldn't do it right from the start, and also, yeah, it was really kind of like tough to achieve all the kind of design issues with that in the given time frame. Like,
Hmm.
and wow, I'm just like really fascinated by what you created here. Like even with the little candles upon this path. Yeah, it's like a movie set,
Oh, it's
like from an
fun.
adventure movie. It's really cool. Yeah,
Jindrak
so
says, please add dragon glaives to the game as weapons. Oh,
yeah,
there's so many things.
I
Yeah.
will take notes. I will take notes,
Take notes
guys.
of the
After
chat.
this.
Yeah, I'll keep the
Yes,
VOD up.
yeah, and
Oh,
wow, yes, like his little store here.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun. A
cool.
little innkeeper and everything. Having that. This
Yeah,
is like the tavern and inn. The more recent build from the
it's
forest village. So it's
it's
fun to.
so beautiful, even with the lighting. Hey, what material is that? What reflections on that wood is that
This is
actually?
the palmwood tables that we got with the Nomad Highlands. So
Cool.
the like
Just
the
going
waxy
to bowling
texture,
alley.
I thought that was good for the bowling alley. Yeah.
Such a great idea. It looks so. I've
Uh,
never seen anything like this, mate. And what I love is like I've seen so many people doing like the most weirdest things we never expected.
yeah.
Like even some guys did a whatever a palm house made out of windows that he kind of like arranged in this diagonal way that it really looked like a round ceiling. It's crazy.
Right.
He must have used hundreds of windows to achieve that.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
been some
So,
amazing builds. I every now and then I'll do like community build showcase streams on the channel or have some really creative builders, and I have been amazed by things as well. And that was something too, like that I had in my questions of like the whole surprise hit concept of what's something that you as the devs thought like, oh, it's just another thing we're adding to the game that like players ended up loving a whole bunch, that absolutely surprised you, that like sort of changed the direction for the game or shocked you in the way they used it or things like, is that, with the building, or are there other little things that were kind of related that you had, absolutely didn't expect to happen but did?
that's a very good question because I have to think about this kind of
uh,
like I would say generally like that we thought, okay, I mean, building is one aspect of the game, but it was never meant to be like, okay, this is a building simulation
hmm.
with a RPG, whatever, survival game. on top of the building simulator. You know, it was like a genre mix right from the start, and we thought, okay, the building system was good. I mean, we looked really at different building systems from other game, and we were convinced, okay, ours is not that bad. You know, like it works and it has some kind of cool things that you can do. But that it would have such an impact that people would really create the most freaky things that, you know,
Hmm.
like they spent hundreds of hours recreating Hogwarts or
Right.
Minas
Yeah.
Tirith. It was like, oh God, this is insane. Really, they have so
Right.
much fun in doing that. I mean, there's a whole game, you know, aside from that, but people just spend the all their
Yeah.
time in this game building. That was
Right.
kind of like a surprise, and even now we can see like every day. The most kind of like upvoted Reddit things are usually like the build
A
creations,
lot
and
of
they look
building related.
amazing and awesome. So
Yeah.
we thought, okay, it's good, but that it would have that kind of impact, and people would like make the craziest stuff out of it that really surprised us, is still surprising us today. So
Right.
every day, like somebody uploads a great creation in our chat, and we are like, oh my God, how did they do that? You know, like how did they use the props in this way? You know, they looked like completely something else. It was never
Yeah.
intended to be like that. But then they created like you did with the bowling alley here. I was like, how did he do that? You know, like,
Using all kinds
oh,
of things,
yes,
right? I think
yes,
that's what I
yes,
love about games like this the most. And then yeah, Creative
yeah,
Casey on my chat. I've got ideas for days in this game. Exactly. It's so much fun to have games like this where even when you're done with the quest element of the game or the story element, you can just keep on going on to build and be, really creative. It makes the game sort of have so much more content than it initially, would have
yes,
had when you
yeah.
can just be crazy creative like that. And yeah, with the amount of props and detail and other things that we can do in this game to create something, totally different, that isn't even added with to the game yet is just
Like
so much fun.
like yes, you had like here the blocks on the floor, but you also did some flower overgrow.
Yeah, yeah,
It's I love this. You know, like this is like really cool. Like when you can do those tiny
Uh,
details, you know.
I
And I
love
think
doing it. Yeah.
yeah, and I also love watching people doing it. Like, for example, like before we did that game, there wasn't, you know, we did a game before Portal Knights, but that was like
Hmm.
a couple of years ago. There was just YouTube and a few people doing Let's Plays. But
Hmm.
basically, when we now released Enshrouded and people started to actually stream more on Twitch, it was really a new world to see, like, oh, you know, you can really see and watch people create their bases and play and figuring out stuff and retrying that. Some streamers, you know, they just did something, then they recreated it, undid it, and tried it a different way. It was so
Right.
interesting to watch
Yeah.
people doing that. As you said, you know, like we thought, okay, here's a prop, and they probably use it as whatever offense. And now, like
Totally.
people use it as whatever something different. You know, like turn the prop in 180 degrees, stick it half in the ground, and make a
Right.
whatever a bar table out of it and something like that. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, it creates
Oh
a
my
really
God.
cool
Oh my
community.
God. Here, this even the details here with all the food. It looks
Yeah.
like I'm getting hungry
It
just
was
by
like
looking at
the
this.
the kitchen was one of those things where I used the staff wall mounts into the
And this,
backed into these as
wh-
cabinets with the barred instrument thing
wait,
as the little knobs
yeah, yeah.
and
Wait a second. Yeah,
like
this is a bathtub, for
yeah,
example.
the
The prop that
bathtub
you
has the
have
big
here, you know.
sink with the grapple hooks
It's,
and
it's amazing.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun trying to figure out to use certain pieces, and that's kind of as us builders, like based on what we can use with props and then what we can't. That's sort of like what we request of like, oh wait, I can't do this with the props. Like, can we add this to the game?
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
it's fun.
Okay, I'm getting it. You know, like okay. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yes.
we have, let's see, yeah, another thing with PvP and raids. The roadmap mentions base or like, base raid islands. So
Mhm.
what is like, what is your plan to sort of appeal to that, like more like either PvP or like defense aspect of the game, while still kind of
Mhm.
appealing to the PvE aspect and like cozy player community and like, yeah, what is the plan for that? Because I do still see it on the roadmap. with the concept of base raids.
Yeah, with the PvP, I'm not so sure because we had discussions about it, and generally we thought
Mm,
like the game has such a hard PvE, like cozy vibe,
hmm.
that might be like not the best idea. And even PvP as a feature itself, it requires such an intense amount of balancing. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like you
Yeah.
cannot just say, okay, let's go into that area and let a whatever level 5 character play against the level 35. And what about their gears? What about
Right.
the things? And that's a whole game project
Yeah.
for itself, I think, you
Yeah.
know? And it's not like that we followed up with the idea in a very cool way. Just show me a little bit around while I'm talking. Yeah, I want
Sure.
to see
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy cool. Oh, by the way, this is my mom. Hello, that here, this character. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
No kidding. Like,
it was
yeah.
modeled
So
after.
my mom, yeah, my mom died last year, and
Oh no,
actually
I'm sorry
because
to
I'm
hear.
the audio, no, it's fine. Like, but I'm the audio guy, and I really wanted to record my mom's voice to have her like digitally kind of conserved in the game. So we created her character. She has my
Wow.
mom's look and name, and now I have her in the game forever.
Oh my gosh,
That's
that's
a,
actually really cool. A really cool
that's the
backstory
perk of
there.
being the audio designer of that game.
Right.
You know, like I could put my mom in the game. Actually, also I put most of my friends into the game. So like all the voices you hear, mostly like me, my friends, and
Yeah.
yeah, a couple of guys from the team. It's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
that's why we have a lot of villagers in the game because Thorsten has a lot of friends.
Yeah, or like the villagers just have the voices. Wait, is that a concert stage here with a drum
Yeah.
kit? Oh my fucking God, no
Yeah.
fucking way. No, and you use like the
One of my
barrels for
subscribers came on and built the drum kit with the barrels. Yep.
even the cymbals have the right arrangement. I'm a drummer, so I play drums, so I can tell that's a real drum kit. The setup
Uh,
is absolutely perfect, you
Shout out to
know?
Death
Yeah.
Metal. Yeah, he did a cool job. He
Yeah,
came in and did the drum kit.
shout
Yeah.
out to him, man. That's the perfect concert stage. And yeah, you have here
Yeah.
all the instruments. Yeah, but talking about the raid system, generally also what it was not be, I mean, like in a game like Fallout, you have, for example, that your base can get attacked by the mobs and all that
Mm,
kind of stuff. And it's kind of interesting, you know, like sometimes you have like events going on and it creates more dynamic or randomness in the world when you could have something like a raid. Yeah.
yeah.
But problem is like also like think about like how many people can just make their base an enshrouded whatever a castle in the sky with no access for anybody to enter. You know, it would be kind of like not make sense to just have enemies spawn around your base and just
Yeah.
make the base attack or, and so it's also like a little thing in discussion that how
Hmm.
that would really work out. So the idea was also to make like in different instances of the game, like that it's not happening really in that world instance.
Hmm.
But it's also like a thing that we need to evaluate from technical sides, first and see
Absolutely.
of how instancing would work, what are the pros and cons and all that. And yeah,
Yeah.
going basically to some island maybe to have like more of an instance fight or dungeon experience would be cool. But like, let's look at it. I think we already have a lot of other cool things that we want
Right.
to do. You
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
here
a
are like
great
the
way
guest
to do it,
rooms.
I
Yeah,
think, because
yeah,
that's even in the chat, it's a sensitive topic. Yeah, no PvP in Enshrouded, right? Some people want it, some people don't, or like I think for a cozy survival game trying to appeal to the PvP market, it would be very
yeah,
hard to, do it right like you were saying. But yeah, having an instanced aspect of the world when it comes to specific islands, we're like, all right, only these islands, if you choose to build here, your base will get raided. Everywhere else in the world, though, it'll stay as usual because players who want to put a bunch of work into their bases with something of the detail that we can build in Enshrouded, other base raid games have much simpler bases that are really easy to repair if raids come along. Like an Enshrouded base would be a whole different story.
yeah,
To where it could be a fun
exactly.
challenge,
Yeah,
but definitely making it yeah, like so that the
optional
player
or
can
not
choose to
mandatory.
opt
Yeah.
in or not depending on where they go.
Mm,
To sort of do that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Yeah.
yeah.
I think a bunch of us were kind of wondering about how the plan was for that.
Maybe like do you know the Division or the Division games? They have this kind of dark zone where you can go and you have like a separated PvP area from the rest of the world.
Right, right.
It also might like an idea, but if I don't know if we don't have like a 300-man people team to just tackle that and say like, okay, let's create something like this until the
Right.
1.0 version, or maybe after the 1.0 version also. But we have still like a small team compared to other games. We're still like a little developer in regards to the manpower, we have. So we have to really carefully make a plan to what features are really,
Yeah.
really needed from our community and what could be cool, but just not like really supporting the essence of our game.
Oh,
Like so.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, and a lot of people are like, yeah, just like the raids aspect, are being forced to. So yeah,
Oh, I
whatever it
love
is, it's
the
like just do it for that like opt-in aspect. And then if players want it all over the place, yeah, go play something like Valheim or some other game that has those really difficult base raids for things like that. But I think you've definitely very much appealed to sort of the cozy survival builder type people with this game, and
yeah,
it's been so much fun just to work on long projects, and even the way you were able to do it so that the flame altars save the current progress in the game. But this world here is over 2 years old now, and I've still been able to get all the new content, and I have loved that. Oh, you like the
okay,
hanging bed? I
okay.
tried
Can I
to.
criticize something? Can I criticize something? I got is the roof blocks here on the inner side of
Yeah, yeah. For the
this part.
that was something that I love doing a lot, is the terrain roofs. If I sleep
Yeah,
through the night and see it on the outside, I like doing that for the like to get a steeper
it's
roof
right down
than
next to you.
the
Yeah,
than the
okay.
normal 45 degree. And
Yeah,
I was wondering, like, is that with the way that you guys have the props in the game? I know with like a voxel block, it's really hard to
yeah.
make a blueprint that's steeper than 45 degrees. But
Yes.
if you
Yeah,
had like a props somehow to be able to do like a 60-degree roof, for example, like, is that ever something you have considered,
yeah,
or other things? Because I love doing that so much
yeah,
to try to do the steeper roofs.
yeah. Actually, like most of the roof stuff at the beginning of the project was done with props. But
Okay, wow.
that was not
Okay.
that was pretty much against the whole idea of this voxel thingy.
Right,
So we
right.
had like a lot of props in every kind of roof where like 3D models attached to the sides and all that, and kind of like and we really got away from that at the very beginning. We thought about, okay, no, that is really dumb. Like there is like a whole voxel thing to build your houses, but then the roofs can only get done with props. And then also like the roof system was pretty much improved in a way that they have now. You can see that on all the angled roof tiles, detailed objects that even
Right.
look like props.
Yeah.
Like I would not even recognize this
The
as a
roofs
voxel
at
object.
45, yeah, they
Yeah.
don't look like a voxel. I love how
Okay. Yeah.
they've sort of come like that. But yeah,
And
I
the
think that was
smart.
my biggest thing,
Yeah.
is like, if I ever
Yeah.
wanted to build past 45
Yeah.
degrees, and then like to follow up with that, when I use the terrain on my roofs, I noticed terrain doesn't render in as far as blocks. So like if
Yeah.
I try to look at my tavern from my treehouse, for example, it
Yeah.
disappears. And do you guys have any plan to
Yeah.
like add a
Yeah.
slider for that, or implement, like, I know Unreal Engine 5 has like
Yeah.
nanite to sort of deal with it, or like what are the challenges like with you having your own engine, and possibly things like render distance or other things, like, would you like to see updated or
Yes.
added to the game in the future?
Yes, I mean generally LODs, like the
Hmm.
way details get blended by getting far away or getting closer to something is something still that is work in progress and will be probably improved all the time.
Right.
Like that's something we still. I mean, it's our own engine, so it's something. There are things that are not maybe are as good as in Unreal, yeah, but other
Right.
things Unreal can do,
Yeah.
But on working on the specific improvements, we are aware of that, like that.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of people now in the tech team working on especially improving this LOD system. Yeah.
Right. Because you can update, the benefit of your own engine is being able to get updates out as fast as you're able to, because you can just update the engine
Yeah.
if something doesn't work out. But
Yeah.
with other things that, Unreal Engine might have, things like I think your lighting system is very good. For,
And
not having the
improved
lumen and
also. Yeah.
things like,
Yeah.
yeah, like Unreal. But yeah, I think the render system with players building huge bases, I think that's been one of the things for me, at least, that's shied me away a little bit of building a, larger castle style build or using more terrain in my builds or things, is that like, oh, if I want to get back
Mhm.
away from it, especially as a creator, to like take a thumbnail for a video and then like the whole roof
Mhm.
just disappears or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
but
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great someday, or even just a slider for like, it does require more computing
yeah,
power. And that's, someone else asked in the chat,
yeah.
also, like, why is there the limit to water sources only 20? But that probably has to do with that as well. If you had more than
Yes,
20 of getting
yes.
really out of hand, right?
Yeah, and even in like in the development of the update now, we had like a bar that tells us like, okay, this is the fixed amount of water we can kind of like get away with, but if we succeed over that, like there could be a lot of performance and other issues. So we
Right,
try to stay
right.
under that limit.
So you're kind
And
of
I mean,
testing it
all
out slow first, and
yes,
then yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and if we can improve that or increase the limit and all that, then we will do it definitely. But we want to also make sure the game will be still playable. Like not everybody
Hmm.
has water and then it's just like just running in only every second frame. Yeah, but I think
Right.
it's a good compromise so far. Yeah, but yeah, of
Hmm.
course, we'll improve that and work on it. But I think the slider idea is kind of like okay. Well,
Yeah.
if it's like
It could at
could be
least be
done,
like a
and
meantime
yeah.
sort of a thing of
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
like even when I have it on max or things like that, like I'm able to run it with a slightly better graphics card. But yeah, either that at the least is like a very possible feasible thing. But yeah, either yeah, better render distance and possibly like a building camera. Apologize
yeah,
from all my animals. They made their way down into the floors.
yeah, yeah. It's nice. Yeah. You see, get them their freedom. Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Oh,
this
well,
was
yeah, that's your barn. Yeah.
the build from the
How
mountain
did you?
biome.
Can I ask you also something? How
Yeah.
did you get to know Enshrouded? Like, was it something that you just saw a trailer of, or a friend told you about,
Yeah,
or
I saw
yeah,
the like some of the trailers before the beta. I was looking
yeah,
at other games. I was actually looking at PAX Day and a couple others at the
mm-hmm,
time, because I was big into Valheim. Had over 1,000 hours in
mm-hmm.
Valheim at the time, and
Oh,
also loved
okay, yeah,
Minecraft and things. And when I saw the whole like and build a village or whatever part of the initial trailer, where the whole village just come to life block by block on the top of the rock there, I was like, wait, we can do that? Like this is
mm-hmm.
this is a big building game. So so yeah, I was really excited and applied for the closed beta and got in with that. And as soon as I was able to like mess around a little, I mean, one of the first builds I did was a little hobbit hole where I took the pickaxe and just dug into the side of a hill. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is the only game where I can do things like that. And I just knew, from the music,
mm-hmm,
the vibe, the coziness,
mm-hmm.
everything. I think that stream I might have had 2 or 3 viewers. Not many people knew about it, but then the demo came out, and that was when I did that stream. And but then when the demo was not out, in that period between the demo and the early access release, the stream VOD went on to get like 500,000 or 600,000 views, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the building system that we don't have in other games."
Mm-hmm.
Coming from something like Valheim, and
Yeah.
that was just it totally clicked. I was like, "This is going to be my next big building game." After getting a chance to sort of check out the beta there, so yeah, got it on
Cool.
on
Yeah.
day one, and just kept messing around and doing it since. Did a fun playthrough with a friend, and it's been a big game for the channel for sure.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of people in chat, yeah, saw it through Chisel, got the game. Yeah, got you. Yeah, so yeah, a
Cool.
bunch of people been
Yeah.
able to turn them on to the cozy survival games. It's been a lot of fun growing the community
Yeah.
around games like this. Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, it's also a lot of fun creating that. But trust me, it's like every time we see someone having fun with the game and trying and building stuff, we are so proud and so happy about it,
Yeah,
that the game appeals to so many people already, and that they actually also gave us so much good feedback. So we receive like mails every day and week about like people telling us how they love this game and so many different people. Like we have so
right,
many players that are kind of like whatever older people, even like older couples, and wrote us. It's like, I'm playing this game with my husband. We are like 60 something, and it's such a cozy, cool experience for us and all. And that's so motivating and keeps us also motivating to work on the
yeah,
updates, and doesn't get
right.
bored, like, yeah.
Oh, definitely. This is another one of my little builds. I sometimes like doing level 1 altar builds to challenge myself,
Yeah.
like what can I do in level 1 altars. So this was another one of those where I used one of my
Oh, you made
favorite
a
Hobbit hole designs and did
you made a
the
roof with a
yeah, little Vuka nesting
terrain
similar to the
materials.
fishing hut. Yeah.
And added this this flower arrangement. You actually did it like a roundish staircase with
That
is
was the
that the
coffin
coffin
Liz.
prop? The
So some
coffin
yep,
prop.
yep. It was
Exactly the coffin prop as a staircase.
yeah, it was
Awesome,
fun.
awesome. Yeah,
Lots of fun.
cool.
So everything's like connected and all. Yeah, someone said
Yeah.
he avoided the building camera question. Do you
You
want
should
to
be an
speak to
interior
like
designer.
if we'll get a
Yeah.
building camera and things with when it comes to like creative mode or
I'm
like
not
a
pretty sure how that would work. I'm not
not
a
quite
part of
sure.
this
Yeah.
discussion. Like I'm more like the content creator. Like I'm
Hmm.
doing this stuff here in the game, but
Right.
not in the
And the
building process
design
so
and
much.
things. So yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like
So
it with
yeah,
creative mode and such. But yeah, some of the questions can't be answered in full, you
yeah,
guys. But we'll
yeah.
we'll kind of do what we can. It's great to
But I think we
great
had
to
that
have the
in
dev
Portal
here.
Nights, as far as I remember, because there
Yeah, the
was a
build
creative
camera
mode,
system in Portal Knight. So
and there
yeah,
was
if
like,
you could
yeah,
do it, it'll
yeah,
probably make its way into Enshrouded
okay.
then. That's awesome.
Yeah, I will remind my people then. Yeah, beautiful. The proper arrangements again. You should be an interior designer. Yeah, like
Heck,
the
I'll,
way you
I'll
arrange
join. I'll
things.
make some. I'll make some locations.
Yeah,
Do some fun things.
we,
That's
we
that's
were
also
even
part of leaving
dreaming
it
that
up
at some
to.
point, but because they're just so good. Yeah,
Oh,
but
that'd
it's
be
not that
fun
easy.
sometimes.
Yeah,
It also leaves
uh,
open creativity. That's is something as like some of the simpler or more dilapidated structures that we do see in the game.
mm.
Leaves open for people to renovate them or also do their own
Yeah,
creativity.
that
I
was the
think
idea.
there's
That
I
was the
totally
idea. Yeah,
understand that as well, to
yeah,
where like you don't
yeah.
want to go crazy with in-game structures because the players can also then they'll feel maybe more discouraged to create their own thing that's really good or something.
Yeah, or if they're just too lazy to build the whole city, they can just take over some of the cities we created
Right,
and just
yeah.
put something there.
And it's
Yeah,
nice
it's my
that that's an option for people. I know a lot
yeah,
of people like to renovate a lot of those things, and
yeah,
the whole lore system, which helps them renovate it to like, oh, how would have looked, based on the lore,
yeah,
um,
exactly. Yeah,
which is
yeah,
a lot of fun. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, this is another cozy build.
Wow.
We could go to the Halloween
Yeah,
one next that I did.
yeah. Show me
Um,
around. Yeah,
yeah, that was for the build competition for the Halloween one a while ago. I think for the last year's one. OMG, please let Chisel design some houses or structures for the next update.
getting jealous to
Maybe I have
know.
to.
Uh,
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 yeah, that would be
wow.
fun.
Okay, creepy church room. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
creepy church build. So this was the whole thing that inspired this one was that there was these little the shroud spores in the meadows area here, and so I could build
yeah.
here since we're not able to build in the shroud, and
Mm.
so I was able to build here and sort of have that
Like
fog at night, which was a lot of fun.
the skeletons here and use the hollow holes doors and
Yep.
yes, those candle holders and with the spider webs in the corners.
Yep.
I didn't even know that spider webs are also props that the players can use.
Yeah, we can
It
use the
seems like
spider webs now. That was great. I
oh
used the builder's
yeah,
companion mod from Turk or
yeah.
whatever for the skeletons. That was fun to be able to just
Actually,
place some props.
for the new update, I created a hut. It's called Old Hag's Hut. I don't know if you've been there. In the new biome,
Oh, I don't know if
there's a
I
hut,
have. You should
Old
take me
Hag's
there.
Hut, and yeah,
If it's
well, yeah, and it looks a little bit like this. Just the idea was also like the hag's old witch lived in the woods, and she
mm,
was like, wait a second, where is the? I can show you. Is this? You have this one. We can go to the.
I have a couple of flame
Uh,
altars there. I've got the very
yeah, but
tall
just go to
one,
the high point to the
the little
the tower,
lagoon. Okay.
the tower, and from there we can
Or there,
fly
I see.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Inspire there. Perfect. Yeah, that was another thing. Thanks, Munchie. Yeah, for mod support, with you guys having your own engine, I imagine you're at least waiting till 1.0 before you would even consider kind of opening the ability and mod support up. But is that something that you
yeah.
would consider doing for the game? And how could that work with you, sort of having your own engine?
Yeah, that's also a thing because of the, as you said, like own engine thing. It's kind of tricky, like, or
Mm-hmm.
again, you have to consider what kind of tools do you give out to the players, what will be like mandatory to kind of like to give them to actually be able to mod the game, and what kind of levels and all that. And I mean, as far as I know, there are thoughts about it, but not very wide,
Right.
far progressed.
So
Like
more
that
something
we find it.
that could be thought about more once things are in a more
Yeah,
finished state, kind of a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Right now, we have plenty of other things on our list,
Mm-hmm.
and so far the game works pretty good without the mods. I mean, just generally, it would be funny to see if whatever players come up and do a
Right.
character with laser guns or a spaceship flying in. But, what, you never know. But mods are
Right.
really crazy, going like, oh, generally over the top. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
let's see. I
that'd be
mean,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Where are we right now? We actually no. We have to go to the place more in the south.
We go
Uh,
reglide.
it's the yeah. Wait a second. It's the Flame Shrine. Because all the names here. Orwell. It's next to Orwell, but we can go to Orwell, and from there I will take you. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
let's make
yeah.
a marker on Orwell.
Yep.
Uh,
That's a big yep. Down by there. Cool. Yeah, north of Dragon
no,
Dream
it's
Lake. Cool. Cool.
no,
Totally.
no. I'm
Or-
no. It's even wrong. I think it's not there. It's not next to Orwell. Let me see. Wait. More to the south where there is. Uh,
And yeah, Avloria, some people in the chat have
yeah.
been asking about mounts. I know that's a very common question, and I know for something like
Oh,
Enshrouded, we
yeah.
have fast travel, we have the gliders, we have lots of things that could
Yeah.
make mounts a very hard
Yeah.
addition to the way the game is currently played. But
Yeah.
just for around the bases or things, is that ever something, I guess that kind of goes along with like, you were thinking about little boats or rafts, but when it comes to animal mounts and things, would that ever be something that, could be added just for players around their base or something to sort of tromp around a biome or
But I wouldn't see them if they would make them, then would make them also as a really good game feature. That they
right.
are used
Okay.
really good for
Yeah.
traversal and
To
all.
where they could,
But our
teleport with
yeah,
you or do things with you then and be like a
but
companion.
but you see, like the world and the ways and all the like how it was designed was never meant to work with mounts. So we made like distances between points pretty low, short. We made like the option to have this kind of tower where you fast travel and glide down from.
Right.
We have a
Right.
lot of other options, like where you can just fast teleport into stuff. And so if we would make mounts also, it would only work in a way very good that we kind of would increase the world size or just, like make it kind
Right.
of like better or more useful to actually use them. I think the distances you travel with like the stamina and the buffs you have and the sprint tempo that you can actually have, mounts wouldn't make much of a difference.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And like you might have like 10 or 20% more speed between the travels or something, but you're already pretty fast with the sprint and the gliding.
Yeah.
Like even sometimes they would slow you down in a way that
Right.
if you would have a double jump, glide,
Yeah.
use the updraft skill, you're so fast.
So where maybe they could make your village feel like more alive in some way, but yeah, to the point, they would kind of mess with the traversal in certain things. And but
Yeah,
what is your plans for whether it's like the pets we already are able to tame and the villagers we get? Do you ever
yeah,
plan to sort of add a system of like making them feel more alive? Maybe like dynamic quests or where they could like
yeah.
craft things or use Emily and like assign a plot of land for her to farm or like do you ever plan to add
Yes.
like intelligence of any kind to the villagers or current pets? I know
Don't
that would be a
don't
big
say
thing,
they're
but
not intelligent, like yeah,
yeah.
no, no, okay, of course. NPCs also improving them, make them feel more alive. That is on the list, yeah.
Hmm.
And just like to see what kind of like improvements we can do there. It's something we constantly talk about, like. Um, so let me just see where we are. I think we have to go over here through this area, and then go to the other area. Yeah, but to what extent is also on, yeah, a little bit in talks about like, okay, can we actually assign them jobs? Like,
Right.
okay, and
Right.
what about if we assign them jobs, would that make sense? And would it not be take away maybe too much from the whole aspect of the like what players need to do, like to actually have some fun and interaction with the game. Like, what if there would be a completely automated NPC farming system? Would that actually be
Right.
still fun for the players? I know
That's
some
true.
games
That's
do
true.
it,
A lot
and
to think about
but
with that.
but also like the way villagers interact with each other and what do they do at what time of the day, and give them a little bit more like livability, I would say, like in whatever Animal Crossing or something like that.
Right. Right.
Like games like this are a good inspiration actually for villagers, yeah. And also, like, what if whatever we would have a base rate and the NPCs would just stand there and say hello while an army of foggers comes to the base. Like,
Right,
yeah.
right. So
So we
utilizing them
have to
almost to
consider
be able
all
to
that.
fight with you if there were some base
Yeah.
raids in designated zones. That
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you might, I mean, that's what I mean. You can extend this idea over and over into whatever, being like your companions on a quest. Could you
Right.
can could ask the huntress to like, okay, you could be my NPC companion and whatever. So a lot of things are great to like just, these think about and see it, but happening and could be cool. But still, again, have to be considered. How much effort does it take? How much bang for the buck you get, basically. Like how
Right.
much effort you put in there, and how much would players actually see, use, and appreciate that feature. And yeah, that's a
Yeah.
thing. But generally, we will improve NPCs and also and the animals in their behavior and patterns, with the pathfinding and all that, actually. There is a
Yeah.
little secret here I wanted to show you. Where is
Okay.
that?
And yeah, you spoke a little bit about that right there, but that was something else of like, you guys as a dev team seem to be very you have a very good balance of what gets added based on player suggestions, and also being strict enough, so to speak, to like stick to your game and the original lore or other things. I think a lot of dev teams are either too open to player things to where the game gets completely off topic. And then some devs are very strict of like, oh, we're not going to give you that build thing, or not going to listen to anything the players have, and then it becomes boring for the players. But I think you guys do a very good balance of sort of listening to players while keeping it the Enshrouded experience. And what goes into deciding when when you see a player suggestion and how that could make it into the game. I imagine there's a lot of meetings, a lot of like, would this make sense? How would it make sense? How could we weave it in? Even the whole water biome concept, if I'm not mistaken, was like something that so many players were like, oh my gosh, if this game had water, it could be the best game ever. And it wasn't even something that was originally planned from you guys. And what makes
Yeah.
what makes the deciding factor of, oh, what do we want to take from the players and put a bunch of work into to implement?
Yeah, I mean, generally there's also like we have a creative director who's responsible to just like really make up the decisions in regards with the production team. He at the end will say like, okay, this is what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it and all that. But
Hmm.
also he's like open to any kind of suggestion coming from the team and also coming from feature upvotes. We have this feature upvote side where
Right.
you actually can say you want to have the feature in the game, and we all constantly look at that and see like,
Yeah.
okay, lots of whatever, 10,000 people want that. So we definitely talk about this,
Right.
like if
Right.
maybe two
No, that was
persons vote for
brilliant.
something,
Yeah.
it's not something we want to do in the next update. But if we have like a few thousand people saying that would be really cool, we surely consider this feature and think about it, and do kind of like start the process if we haven't done it already and it's not on our list internally. But sometimes it's even like that we see people suggesting something on Reddit, on a Discord, and sometimes, like we post that in our internal chat and we react to that. Like if it's really not that complicated to implement and it just whatever takes a day or two for one or two people, then it's kind of like an easy decision, we just can put it in. It's get only more complicated with stuff that really requires a lot of more manpower and time, and money
Right.
to do. Then we have to make a decision and evaluate that and talk about this with our production team and say like, hey, there was a lot of people suggesting this and that. let's talk about it, like let's design it, talk it through, can we do that? Is it actually like really something we also think people will appreciate, or maybe just like a nice idea, but it doesn't stick or fit to the rest of the game,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's our creative director makes the call and says like, oh yeah, that's a good thing. Let's do and work on it. I think that probably makes so far very good decisions about it.
Yeah. No, that's been really great. Yeah, a common thing in the chat right now is like climbing as ever a thing. I could see the ups and downs because climbing could be like, oh, just a way to sort of I mean, a lot of players already do, including myself. I'm guilty of it, using double jump and updraft just to kind of avoid taking the long path to something. But yeah, would climbing ever be a thing? Because we have so much verticality and interesting traversal in this game. I just saw a bunch of people were asking about that, so I figured to bring it up.
Also, it was talked about a lot, like because of course our big influence is Zelda, and we also saw that works kind of like good there. But also then we have to think about it through, like, okay, where could you climb? What could you climb? Could you, for example, only climb like whatever to a 90-degree slope, or completely? Because what about like the game already offers a lot of potential exploits. You know what I mean? It's like we make a dungeon and we want to make the player hit 2 buttons, but then they just use their best
they bypass something else, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a compromise of this sandboxy system and creating like designed content. And it's the same with the climbing. We have to consider what things you could potentially, exploit, bypass, and all that if you could climb everywhere, or climbing would be there as a mechanic, just not like in the spots we have it, like with the climbing walls or the ladders, but just on walls and other stuff. And think about that. So, and also like the animation set that we would require for this, and other kind of mechanics. I think also, I would love to have it at some degree, personally, like to see like, okay, it would be able to climb rocks that are not too slopey,
Or maybe have like a climbing stamina or something that doesn't make them able to go too high, but just a little something.
Or climbing tool, whatever, like climbing boots or something that you could have, something that makes it possible. But also, again, in the feature set of the game, like with all the traversal that we have right now, it's not that we need it. It's more like it would be cool to have, but it's not like that we feel like, oh my God, without the climbing, we can't ship this game because people will, not accept it that we don't have it in the game.
Right. Yeah. That totally makes sense. And having talking a bit about like when it comes to the 1.0 release, what are you what's your criteria for like, oh, this game is done to the point where we're happy with it, we're confident in calling it 1.0, and are there any things like, aside from some of the stuff that's on the roadmap that you're very much like, oh, this needs to be implemented, this is our vision kind of a thing, before confidently being able to say that it's finished in a state that you would like? I know there's been talk of also, if the game keeps doing well, to continue updating it and adding things post 1.0. But until then, it's kind of like, what are the things you're looking for, the biggest hurdles or the biggest things you want to like see the game come to for 1.0?
Generally, I would say from the size and scale of the world, we're pretty much there where we want to be. We don't need to add many more biomes to make it like a game where we would feel, okay, players
just
don't
so
get
much
content. We already have, I think, insane huge world for what we already where we are in the project stage. But a lot of things just need a lot of more polishing. Like we create like so many features, toys and stuff, and everything works kind of like really good already. But like to be like whatever kind of say like it's a finished game, just like we have tons of polishing lists where we want to improve on all kinds of things. not so much in the building now, but more like on whatever performance,
Right.
enemies, and crafting and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it comes a lot of things together where we just want to really improve the game on many, many aspects and levels. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I don't think it needs to be much, much bigger than it is right now.
Yeah, in
It
terms
would
of
just
map
make,
size. Yeah.
quantity doesn't mean quality. Like we
Hmm.
would rather want to fix some things that when we, in the beginning of the project, had some things maybe rushed a little bit to whatever, achieve a milestone, or we were not that big from the team size that we could polish everything to the aspect we wanted it to polish.
Hmm.
So we're just like going on to these topics pretty much, and thinking like, okay, like let's check out all the things we wanted, all the polish all the time, but we didn't have the time yet because we also need to deliver a new update,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's kind of like the most important aspect for us, like to get more polishing there. And thanks to the community, we already know, what
Right.
aspects are
Yeah.
there to polish. We get so much feedback. We have tons of
Yeah.
things where we can say like, ah, okay, we need to really look at that again, or we need to polish this and here and there. So yeah.
Yeah. So you heard it, guys. Keep using the upvote. Keep giving feedback, things like that. It's partly. I know I see lots of little questions in the chat of oh, an NPC being bugged about the bed, or skill tree tweaks, combat
Like
overhauls,
this.
things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Like
exactly.
they
Yeah,
plan
yeah,
to do overall lots of polishing. So this
yeah.
this stream and Q&A won't get into like all the little nitty gritty, because likely come 1.0 this is going to be much better or polished or different. So yeah, I've been trying to think of bigger things to ask when it's like big picture plans, or roadmap things, or yeah, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, a lot will be getting polished, you guys. So yeah, hopefully any little things you're
Yeah.
experiencing or bugs or all kinds of that, it'll
Just good.
definitely be yeah, game crashes, all that. It'll hopefully be getting a lot better, and keep suggesting things that you
Yeah.
guys
Definitely, we are listening.
want.
Yeah, we are reading, we are listening,
Hmm.
and we are constantly talking about those things. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's still like so much fun making this game. I can honestly say that was the most fun experience I had as a game developer. And like
Yeah.
I'm doing that also since, I don't know, 20 years, yeah, or so, and working on this game, getting the feedback from the community constantly, like making it better. It's just such a cool experience for us as a developer as well.
Right.
Like so.
Yeah.
I'm so happy just like, to have this opportunity like this right now and to talk with you and seeing like the feedback coming from people, because like, hey, that's all you want to have as a game developer,
Yeah.
like build something, right? Maybe it's not finished yet, but you see there is potential and people see that too. And then they start, giving you feedback, giving you suggestions and ideas. And we see so much of that is so good and so valuable for us. And that's like, how could you be in a better position as a game dev than doing a game like this? We
Right.
don't even have a publisher that tells us what to do. We are our own
Right.
publisher. So
This is
there's no
really
team
something.
behind us, yeah,
Yeah.
telling us, we need whatever microtransactions and to sell more games or whatever. No, 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 no.
Hmm.
That's not
So
our
yeah,
interests.
you don't
Like,
plan to
yeah.
do that then, like even if there were future updates beyond 1.0, some people were asking about that in previous streams and stuff, of like the idea of DLCs and stuff, and you're more just
Yes,
about
I mean,
creating the one-stop, finished experience for people, and
yeah,
sort of including all that. That's great. That's great.
but hopefully also like DLCs will be there then, but like
Hmm.
bigger packages right now, like
Bigger,
that we have
yeah,
a whole
bigger
buyer
things
or
or
whatever, and then
additional.
we might even charge for that. I don't know, but not
Hmm.
like for whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that definitely makes sense of not, being required or things. This was
Yeah.
one of the bases I
Wow,
did
that
before
looks cool.
Blackmire, when I
Yeah.
used the farm soil for a tree.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
just kind
God.
of
Yeah.
messing around with some of that.
I see the branches. Looks
Yep.
pretty cool. Like even the position, the spot. Yeah, yeah. I see what spot you choose. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks pretty cool. Yeah.
This was
Yeah,
fun.
so far I have to say I have to leave soon, yeah, because I
Yeah,
also have to
no
pick
worries
up
at all. I think we
someone.
got through a
Yeah.
lot of the
You have any final question? Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, what surprised you, or what went into the whole like concept for the game? What inspired you to think of like, oh, this whole Enshrouded concept? It's very unique from a lot of games with the lore and the shroud. And what was the biggest inspiration for that, rather than just a classic like using Vikings like a lot of games do, or other things? Um,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know if you want to speak to it a little bit.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, like there was like generally the concept of creating a sequel to Portal Knights that wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
work out for some reason. So, but we kind of stuck to the voxel game idea. That was kind of like the technology was there, and why
Right.
not build something on top of that, but just make it more mature, appealing to a more like audience that Portal Knights was really kind of more tailored for kids, and I think Enshrouded was always like meant to be a little bit more like really like high
More
fantasy in a
complex.
way,
Yeah.
yeah, more complex and all that. The Shroud idea, I think, well, I don't know really where that came from, but
Yeah.
also some other games like Subnautica that had a mechanic where you have like a limited time resource where you have to
Right.
go somewhere in and go in and out.
Yeah.
And in the early concepts of Enshrouded, the Shroud was way more populating the world. So the early drafts of the concept art were just like really like top of the mountain peaks where there
Right.
was no shroud and the rest of the world
Interesting.
was
Yeah.
basically covered in shroud. But we also figured out, man, like I mean, shroud and fog gameplay in games is usually like just usually a part of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and that has a reason because
Right.
it's not really nice to be inside that, you can't look far, everything looks gray, you feel like, oh, it's a weird, creepy atmosphere. Let's get out of this as soon as
Right.
possible, like,
Yeah.
and then we knew it kind of like it's in with a limited time, but not make it as prominent as we originally intended it to be. Like an
Mm-hmm.
original concept of the world, there were like way more shroud areas, way more shroud in general in the world, and that got reduced. So because also we wanted players to enjoy parts of the world, to wander around, and make up their base and not feel like, okay, there is just fog everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that changed a lot from the very, very first drafts, but yeah, that's how it kind of like evolved in the development.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I mean, most
I
of all,
think it's a
we
good
definitely want to
call.
let you
Yeah.
know, like, this is, yeah, we love you guys. This is such an amazing game. And
Thank you
I
so
know
much,
myself,
everyone.
my community have just had
Yes.
so much fun with it and can't wait to, yeah, keep building with the new biome, keep seeing the tweaks and other things. It was great to, yeah, sort of hear the plan. It sounds like lots of addressing with the smoothness, the patches, render distance things, the creative mode. Great to hear a little bit about the whole like base rate islands and how that plays in. And yeah, we touched on quite a bit of things today. A little bit of your guys' dream with adding a little bit of the
Yeah.
maybe a little boat or a raft to the water biome, all kinds of
Oh, but
little stuff. But
let me say again that these are things just like most
just
of that was
brainstorming.
like brainstorming and ideas. I can anything for anything
Yeah,
that we talked about. Let's say that,
yeah.
oh, this is going to happen for sure. Oh, this
Nothing
will
set
be
in
in the next
stone. Yeah,
update. No, like we always have to make a
absolutely.
call. And like as I said, we're a small team. We have to like make decisions. There are other things that we talked about and haven't made it into the game, although we wanted them. We
Right.
said like,
Yeah.
oh, that would be so cool, but we didn't have the chance. So I think,
Mm,
like that should be clear. Don't really take that as this guy said we will have this or
right.
that. No,
Right.
that's not what I meant.
It's more of the
But
more of the
please,
dream, yeah.
yeah,
So they're
yeah.
they're pretty
So,
much as unsure as we are in some cases, basically. They're developing it. They're looking at all of our suggestions and possibilities and all of that. And honestly, yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job. Great balance and responsiveness to player feedback and everything. And
yeah,
definitely, yeah, it's been great seeing the whole progression and process of this game from joining right from the get-go to what it's become now. It's been absolute joy.
yeah, for us too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Peapod says, yeah, no, now treat yourselves to a holiday, right? Yeah, you guys done a lot of work with the water biome and
Yes,
everything, and yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully you
I'm
get
just gonna,
some good relaxation.
yeah. Well, the Christmas holiday is coming soon, so yeah,
There
don't
you
worry.
go. Yeah.
And actually, it's so much fun to develop this game. It's not like we are really stressing out about it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, healthy balance and everything. Well, thank you so much
okay.
for joining and being a part
Yes,
of today's
thank you for
stream.
inviting me. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
thank you to the community, everyone who bought the game and likes it and gave feedback. Really, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was yeah. It's so amazing. It absolutely deserves all the love. And yeah, if anyone new is watching the stream and hasn't tried Enshrouded or heard of it, I highly recommend it. If you enjoy survival building games, it is so much fun. And yeah, great community behind it, great dev team, as we've seen with all the updates and everything. And yeah, really cool. So yeah, thank you
Okay.
so much for coming on, and have a great rest of your day, or I suppose evening, with your time in
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah. Probably gonna play some Arc Raiders now, but no, it's
Always got
really
to have
cool.
the other games to switch it up, right?
Yes.
Oh, makes sense. It makes sense.
It's actually a really
Awesome.
great game. Yeah.
It is, yeah. I have dabbled a little. Maybe try it more, but
Yeah. Play
uh,
more Enshrouded.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you and goodbye to all of
Yeah.
you. Yeah. See
Thank you
you.
so much for
And
joining. I will,
yeah.
yeah, I'll wrap up the stream a little, and yeah, have a great rest of your evening.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye bye. All right. So there's the Enshrouded interview with the developer Thorsten, and yeah, super great group of people behind this game. It's been an absolute joy playing it and checking it out and everything. Yeah, super awesome. So thank you all so much for watching it. And I know we didn't get to all the questions and all the stuff. It's definitely yeah, we could play with the devs 24/7 probably, right, for the next few weeks. But hopefully we touched on some things, and that you guys were wondering about, and certain things, and it's definitely a very important piece when it comes to the balance of the game. And what they do or don't implement, what is like priorities. Like we touched on a bit with the concept of like mounts or climbing, or there's all these little things, which is actually really cool to see that the game overall is in such a polished, good state, that what we want now are these little details, which is super great. So yeah, keep the suggestions coming, everyone, and all of that, because the devs do see them and things, and we know that they're busy and everything. So it was great that Thorsten took the time today to come on the stream, and I really appreciate you all being here. I know yeah, wasn't reading a whole lot of chat since we wanted to maximize the time that Thorsten was here, but yeah, it was awesome to have him on today. Awesome to have him on. Yeah, thanks for bringing this to us. Absolutely. It was really great. One of the devs, Liam, reached out and was like, "Hey, we've got it'd be cool to bring one of the devs on the stream at some point." So we were trying to coordinate that a little last week, and it was great it happened today. Absolutely amazing to have Thorsten on. And yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited for the future of this game. Really excited. It makes me happy to hear that the whole base raid islands concept. I was definitely curious about that for the whole like building cozy focus game. Sounds like with that they want to have it be very like zoned off, and specific areas in separate instances of the map, similar to the Hollow Halls is what Thorsten was speaking of there. To where that could sort of be its own thing for players that want that challenge, but otherwise not really focusing on any sort of like PvP or other things, keeping it the cozy community, and overall just like patching it up, making it run really smooth, and getting ready for 1.0 now. This is crazy. Crazy cool to see how far this game has come and all of the amazing things. So yeah, I hope things keep turning out to be really great, and keep getting fixed as time goes on. They did just do a big update, so anyone just getting into the game now, you might experience some little bugs or blips or things depending on what equipment you're running and all of that. But they do plan to keep polishing, and they have done a great job in doing so so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to everything. I didn't ask about things like the Hollow Halls or all kinds of stuff like that, because that's still on the roadmap with their mountain biome and water biome Hollow Halls. Those are quick things that I can just ask the devs anytime in things like chat. So like I said, I tried to keep today's stream like some general, like I wanted to hear their experience a bit with the game, and just let Thorsten share a bit. So yeah, hopefully it was enjoyable. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Anything else? I feel I could share a little bit of a plan for the future of the base stuff, and when it comes to later this week in terms of content, Crimson and I got together over the weekend to do more episodes of the playthrough. So we've got 3 more recorded, and I'll be posting the first one of those tomorrow, which is episode 38 already of jumping into the water biome for the first time. So do subscribe and stay tuned for tomorrow. And then that is in a world backup of this state. So also be on the lookout for a whole bunch of streams in that world where we go from this all being back to ice to actually build the official waterfall and water features of the forest village and everything. I do plan to do a lot of building streams in the coming future to get this forest village like fully where we want it to be with the water, which will be a whole bunch of fun. And so stay tuned for playthroughs, the build streams, all kinds of great stuff like that. And of course, as the holidays come up and all, I hope you all are having a really good month, really good time so far. Yeah, rewatch the thing later. Yeah, I might, I did a little recording of it, so I might turn it into, do like a little clips or highlights video if they're, for some of the stuff. So for any of you that are just joining in or whatever, feel free to rewatch the stream. It's only going to be just over an hour, so not too bad. But yeah, I could turn it into a little highlights video. That'd be fun. But yeah, great that it happened. I had wanted to do a dev stream a bit ago, but I never got around to scheduling it or other things, so I'm glad it was able to happen. And thank you all so much for taking the time to join today. So with that said, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here soon. We got another question from Creative Casey. Was there mention of adjusting roof angles? You can construct your own roofs. Yeah, so that's with the voxels, they can't really do that. They mentioned not really wanting to have props as much be for the roofs. When it comes to the roof angles, you can sort of use the decay tool on just roof blocks to have it be a bit blocky, but the biggest follow-up question to that I did ask was like the whole render distance thing of if we are doing steep roofs, they work pretty well with terrain, but you can even see the point on my tavern there. As I back away, it just changes and glitches, and then if I'm far enough away, it just disappears entirely. So yeah, render distance would be a single thing that as they continue to improve the game, would start making me, a lot more happy with building some of the roofs and such. But yeah, with a voxel system, they are unfortunately limited a bit to the 45 degree, when it comes to that. And I know roofs in general for some of you are also, old Bill Overhill, I hate roofs, roofs can be, I will do some more tutorials. I get a lot of requests on roof tutorials and also the terrain roofs and things to do, go a little more in depth, share all the tips that I share across many videos, all packed in one video and stuff. So yeah, do stay tuned for more tutorials, more content, all that stuff. We love Enshrouded on the channel, and all kinds of awesome survival crafting games and such. But with the water biome that just came out, we will definitely be doing a lot of time in Enshrouded for a bit. But maybe make a sign-up sheet to come construct roofs for us. That'd be funny, Creative Casey. But you should charge us to help with the roofs. Yeah, I'll keep putting out guides and everything. So yeah, and I love suggestions for guides and stuff too. Feel free to join my Discord, any of you that haven't already. Oh, I also wanted to do a giveaway of another credit to G Portal. We've got another one of those to do. So any of you who are still watching, we'll do that. But yeah, join the Discord, !Discord in the chat. Yeah, !Discord in the chat. Pull up a link for that. And you can hop on in there. We have an awesome community in there and stuff. And feel free, if you want to see videos about stuff and whatever, I'm active pretty frequently there. So let me go ahead and do a giveaway for the G Portal credits. What I'm gonna do is start something, and to the winners, basically, just join my Discord and DM me the email you're using on G Portal. You could even sign up for a new G Portal account today if you're not already using them for hosting your game servers, and just let me know the email of that, and then we can get the a $10 credit to you. So we will do that. Let me go ahead and do a little start giveaway here, and see if the bot's awake. There we go. All right, so yeah, just !enter to join on Twitch and YouTube, wherever you all are watching. And I'd love to do that, so I can get that final email to them to get you guys the credits. But yeah, it's been so much fun streaming this week. I really appreciate you all joining for the water update and stuff. We had one of the biggest streams on the channel on Monday. 1,300 viewers across YouTube and Twitch, which was absolutely amazing. That almost doubles my record from like last year, which is really, really cool. So you guys have been awesome, and I have really, really appreciated you coming to the lives and for the support. It's been so enjoyable to do this with all you guys, with the community, and have the ability to go live with a bunch of chatters and everything. Oh, you don't do Discord? No worries, no worries. Yeah, then people who do, just feel free to enter. It's just the easiest way for me to, for DMs and everything like that. It's the platform that I usually use outside YouTube for some of that. But you could try to email me as well. I've got the email on my channel. But all right, let's go ahead. Let me end the giveaway. Tallies up a little winner here. Hey, there we go. Jagged Observer, congrats. Yeah, DM me on YouTube or on Discord the email that you are using for G-Portal, and I'll get the credits over to you. Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining again. That was great, and yeah, thanks again to Thorsten if he's watching the VOD or anything for Thorsten's time today to join on the stream. And I will see you all later this week. Stay tuned for tomorrow for the episode. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Alrighty, cheers everyone.